I feel like it's every girl's dream to get the bad boy to turn good for her, you know? And every girl has that kind of like delusional reality.
Yeah,
like,
it's I need to know who said this because I should give credit to them. But every girl wants the bad boy to be good with her, and every guy wants the good girl to be bad with him. But I think that's is it fantasy? I think you already know this. The second a guy sees you for the first time, he imagines having sex with you.
Really?
And if that looks good in his head, he'll go, yeah, I'm attracted to her. Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we like to talk about all things dating and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of relationship that we want. So without further ado, please welcome Noemi to the show. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
How you doing?
Yeah, I get to be here. Yeah, I'm doing good.
This is her first podcast.
Yeah, literally.
You know, she wanted to come on, talk some goss, and we're like, let's get into the dirty. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Got a lot of questions to ask, so
listen, we'll go through it. And I was debating about sharing all the secrets, but that's what I do here. That's what we do. We share the secrets, so we know what to do. But to start off with tell us your age or your age range, and then one thing a guy should know about you if he wants to take you on a date.
Oh, okay. So I'm 23, and I think one thing a guy should know if he wants to take me on a date, I hate drink dates. Like I hate going. Dates? Yeah, I hate when guys take me just to a pub or like just for like cocktails or whatever.
What about for coffee?
No, I think that's really boring. I feel like there's so many better things you could do. Like you can go. There's so many creative things you can do, and you can kind of show your personality as well.
That's true.
You're like, and I like when a guy thinks about it and it's not just let's go for coffee or whatever.
I get that. So the reason I usually say coffee dates are really good dates, first dates, just because you don't know if you like or vibe with the person yet before you commit to doing like an intense activity with them. Does that make sense? So it's like, for example, like a coffee date, it's low investment for both people. You know, it could be an hour and a half. You're both sober, so you're not like drinking.
Oh yeah, that definitely.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So you can see whether you vibe with the person, and if you do, you're like, okay, cool, let's do a proper kind of thing. But what is like the best first date for you then? What
best first date? Do something fun. Maybe even something like crazy. I don't know. Like I love a good like bowling date, mini golf, something like that. Something like a fun activity you can do.
I think that's fair.
Because I feel like over that, then you also kind of like connect better.
Yeah, like because you have something else to focus on.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. I do agree with that. I think that's good. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
What is one thing you would ask all your exes if you could?
Oh, I don't have an ex.
You've never been in a relationship?
No.
Stop it.
No.
Really? Is that because you're very picky, or is it because, why is that?
That's a long story. So like in high school, I wasn't very popular with guys and stuff.
Okay.
I was just like a bit shy, introvert. So, and then I moved to London for uni, and I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I don't want anything. Like, I don't want a relationship right now. I just want to have fun, you know, like enjoy uni, whatever.
Yeah.
And then let's say like around second year of uni, it was like, okay, I would get into a relationship with someone, but I always choose the wrong man. I have terrible taste in men.
Really? What is the archetype of the kind of guy you typically go for?
So the thing is, I like self-confident guys, and even I like it when they're a bit arrogant, almost. But those guys tend to be the ones that like mess you over as well. So it's like, I think that's the issue.
Sure. Yeah. So is it like you tend to go for the life of the party, the cocky guy?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Not like, I'd rather go for that guy than for like let's say I'd rather go for like a fuckboy kind of like guy than like the shy and nerdy type. If that makes sense. Or like the nice guy. You know? So
I mean, then to be fair, if you know you'd rather go for the fuckboy, are you really surprised that you kind of get fucked around?
Well,
it's kind of in the name, right? Fuckboy, fucking around.
Do you know what? Like, I feel like it's every girl's dream to get the bad boy to turn good for her, you know? And every girl has that kind of like delusional reality.
Yeah, I need to know who said this because I should give credit to them. But every girl wants the bad boy to be good with her, and every guy wants the good girl to be bad with him. But I think that's is it fantasy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There is stories where it worked, like some of my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it just doesn't seem to be working.
I think when it works, it's usually because that guy is in a place where he's looking for something serious. Like timing tends to be quite important, especially for a guy who is like just messing around, playing the field, because it's kind of like, well, if he's not looking for anything serious, why would he just choose one person? Why would he just choose one girl?
If you can have like all of them.
If you can,
actually.
yeah. And it's funny.
Yeah,
It's funny because like, tell me your experience, but I've definitely seen, I'm not going to say experience, so I'm plead the fifth, but where there'll be girls who will like a guy and they know that guy has had sex with this girl, maybe her friend, maybe her cousin, but then she'll still want him. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no. I would not know.
Okay.
I feel like, especially like if someone had something going on with a friend of mine, that's like off limits then. Like,
what about after the fact?
As in like...
So it's done. Like maybe she had history with him like a year ago.
No. Even then, it's like off limits. I feel like that's something I don't want to like... I don't want to cross that line.
Yeah.
It's like, that was your thing. Like, we're not getting there.
Yeah. So have you never given like a nice guy a chance?
So I was actually going to ask a question about this because... Okay. So obviously, like I've been on a couple of dates lately and I had so many guys always say to me like, yeah, I am a nice guy. They would literally, because I say like, I don't think you're a nice guy. Like I'm usually like, I think you're going to mess me around. And they're like, no, I'm a nice guy and blah, blah, blah. Why would you, as a guy, why would you say that? Like, why would you tell the girl you're a nice guy and then like after that, still mess her around?
So I guess we have to define what you mean by nice. Because does nice mean you're getting what you want? Or does nice mean he's just honest about what he wants?
I think nice in terms of like, in general, like caring and like, just like not that, the opposite of like fuckboy, kind of.
I get that. It's not that...
That makes sense.
And I'm not condoning if they are intentionally misleading you.
Yeah.
But when people are like, oh, I'm such a caring person. I'm like, well, yeah, you're caring to the people you care about. You're not caring to everyone.
That's what I mean. They're like, yeah, I'm such a nice guy. Like, I would never do that to you. Why would you even say that to me in the first place? And then like, because there's no need. You don't have to say that. You can just like not say it.
I agree. And the obvious answer is because they're saying it because they still want to gain your favor for whatever it is that they want. My question is, why do you believe them what their words are, not their actions?
Oh, I don't believe them what their words are.
Oh, okay.
No, I never do.
Okay,
no,
so how can you tell if a guy's genuine with you or not?
I can't. I usually always assume the worst. Let's say like this, because of all my past experiences, I'm just like, whenever a guy says to me, no, I would never do that to you, or like, I will message you, I'm always assuming he's not, or like after some time he's gonna end up ghosting me or some shit.
Okay.
Just because of like the stuff that I had in the past. So I'm like, in that like
the cycle
loop kind of, yeah.
So explain to me the cycle. Explain to me what's the cycle from you meeting a guy to you having an experience together to then things ending? What does that look like? And we will dissect.
I mean, I usually like meet guys and then I'm like, so let's say I meet someone, maybe night out, whatever.
Yeah.
And like I end up texting with them for, I don't know, a week, a bit more, but like a lot of texting, like a lot
every
of
day?
messages. Yeah.
Okay.
And then at some point, out of nowhere, it just like keeps replies getting slower, like the usual thing. And at some point they would just like not message me anymore.
Are they asking to see
you? Depends. Not all of them, no.
Okay. So what I mean is...
Which is a weird thing as well. Like, why would you keep messaging? I do get why you would message someone, obviously, like if you're lonely or like, I do that as well. I just message guys when I'm bored or like, or want some entertainment. But why would you keep doing that for like weeks and then just like never meet up if you're never going to meet up anyways? Like, there's literally no point. I get doing it for like a few days or something. But
so I think what happens, I don't think guys tend to just text for attention. That tends to be more something women tend to do. Usually when guys are messaging is because they want something, right? Just outside of the messaging. Now it is possible that maybe he's talking to several girls, maybe he's seeing several girls, but he is messaging you. And then it could get to a point where maybe he is just dealing with several girls and he just doesn't want to be dealing with another one. Does that make sense? So that can happen. But the reason I asked, are they asking to see you, is because that really kind of shows whether he has essentially how much of a priority is seeing you it is for him. And sometimes it may not be that much of a priority because he's dealing with other women. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there'll be guys who will be texting you, trying to text you, trying to see you, and you might entertain that attention, like you said, because you're bored.
Yeah.
But then they're like, she's messaging me loads, but why does she actually want to meet with me?
Oh, I never ask guys to meet up.
No, but like maybe they ask you and you're like, oh, I'm not busy or I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I am actually really busy at the moment. So
yeah,
it's like,
but let's be honest, you'd make time for them if you wanted to.
The thing is for me as well, I only go on dates.
Yeah.
I've only been on like 6-7 dates in my life. Because
first dates or just dates in general?
I've never been on a second date either.
Okay, you don't have to answer this. You don't have to answer this, but I'm gonna ask. Are you a virgin?
No.
And you've never been on a second date?
No.
Noemi, what you do? Okay, carry on.
Because basically,
these help,
there is an
man.
explanation. No, there is an explanation for this.
Explain this one.
Basically, I only go on dates if I really, really like a guy, and if I see not relationship potential, but if I see like a potential that I would like to meet him.
How do you
again,
know if
and
you
if
like him?
Really everything. Do you know what? I actually had that with one guy. So basically, that's a story from last year. But basically, I met him on a night out, and then like he kind of like really surprised me in a good way. He kept asking me that night as well. He was like, he really wanted to go on a date. He kept asking me like 3-4 times, and usually I'm always like, no, I don't go on dates. But he surprised me with certain things he did and said on that like evening.
Okay.
So I said yes. I was like, you know what?
That's
yeah,
cool.
I'm going on a date with you.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
it was actually a really nice date. Like I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
But yeah.
So why didn't you go on the second one?
I don't know. It just never happened. So basically, no, because he lives in Italy and I'm in London. So it's like, it's really tricky.
Sure.
Like I've been away all summer and like, yeah.
Okay, so that one was like
really
distance.
Yeah, I have that a lot.
So is it that you're going on first dates with guys who are just not in your geographic area? Is that what it is?
Oh, no, not at all. But I don't know. I feel like I didn't have any good dates. That was one of the only good dates I've ever had.
So for like most of your first dates are not good dates?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had one date that was probably the worst date I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Basically, that's also a reason why I don't like drink dates.
Sure.
The guy invited me for drinks. So we met up, the pub, whatever.
Yeah.
Got some wine. And it was like 6 p.m. So obviously I didn't eat dinner before. And I thought we were going to get some food as well. Then at some point he goes like, do you know what? Who needs food? Fuck food. We're going to order more wine. And he just orders a bottle of wine. And I'm like, okay. And basically that night he just got me drunk. So we had like 2 bottles of wine in the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And I passed out in Uber. And that was such a weird date. Like, why would you... I did not understand what the logic behind that was.
I mean, you do. Why do you think he was trying to get you drunk?
No, but he didn't end up coming back to mine.
Did he ask?
No.
Oh, he didn't invite you back to his?
No.
Oh.
That's why it was so weird. Like, why would you... Okay. I don't know.
Maybe he just wanted to get drunk with you. See what happens.
But that was a really weird date. I did not enjoy that.
Why do you think most of your dates, your first dates, you've not enjoyed?
Probably because, like, I feel like I don't know.
Because if you're saying you've only been on 6 or 7 first dates and you've only enjoyed one of them, there's something happening pretty consistently. If you said like, oh, I enjoy half, then I'll be like, okay, maybe that's kind of normal. But if you're saying the majority of first dates you've
was
been
bad,
on, you're just not a fan of? Like, what do you think's happening? Like, why? Is it that you don't like them, or is it that...
It's probably because I think at first, like, I would like them, or like we get along when we meet. Like, I don't know, most of the guys I meet on nights out.
Yeah.
So like we get along, but that's obviously like a different like circumstances than
Yeah,
when
like
you meet.
different environment.
Like, yeah.
Sure.
So maybe that. I don't know.
So is it that you're not matching with a guy? Is it that you're not
Yeah,
liking
yeah.
them?
In the end, like, yeah, usually.
That you're not liking them.
Yeah,
So they'll ask you
like
for second
the
date.
majority
Like,
of the times, yeah.
interesting. What is the pettiest reason you said no to a second date?
I've never been asked for a second date. No, that's not true. I've been asked once. But
Did you go?
I wanted to,
Okay.
but well, then it just didn't happen because like something came up, so he didn't have time anymore.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, fair enough. You could have like, there was the whole week still. You could have asked me again, but it's fine. Like, okay.
When you said, did he ask you? You said I can't do that day.
No, basically it was like it was a vague thing because like basically he said to me we could do that day, but I'll let you know in the morning. And then like he ended up doing some stuff with his friends and had to drop them off, whatever. And then he messaged me. He was like, no, actually, I don't think I can make today anymore, which is fair enough. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So.
Do you feel like you're quite picky with guys that you like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very picky.
Do you have like a list?
Oh yeah.
Tell me the list.
It's not really a list, but I have things that I don't like. So basically, what I really like about a guy, this is like despite looks, like let's leave that apart.
Sure.
But like I love when a guy has like goals in life and like is passionate about something and has his own life going on. So like I could never date someone who's like at home the whole day, just like chilling, watching TV, or like I don't even know, or just like who only drinks every day, whose whole like existence is clubbing, whatever.
Sure. A guy with some drive and ambition, sure.
Yeah, someone that has like, you know, goals that he wants to achieve, whatever.
Okay.
I really like that. I think that makes a guy really attractive as well.
Yeah.
What else? Someone funny. I can't.
Classic.
A lot of people don't get my sarcasm, so it's like.
Do guys think that you don't like them because of your sarcasm?
Maybe. I don't know. Like my experience was a lot of UK guys. They would not get my jokes, like my sarcasm. They would take me seriously, and I was like, okay.
Oh.
I was joking.
Okay.
I don't know.
So basically, they think you're kind of being mean, but you're actually being playful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So funny. But yeah, so that, and I think
maybe that's why.
Also, like being spontaneous. I love that because I'm a very spontaneous person.
Yeah.
And, like very independent as well.
Yeah.
So like I need someone who's not like clingy and like there all the time. That would drive me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon that sarcasm thing is probably a big factor.
The thing that's throwing them off.
Yeah, because sometimes it's a cultural thing. It can be a cultural thing. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the time, Americans stereotypically don't get British sarcasm. So I think it might be the same way. If you feel you're being playful and being sarcastic, but it's not landing. Do you know what I mean? But I guess the question I would ask though is that if you feel it's not landing, do you continue to do that? Do you know what I mean? Do you continue to be playful in that way? Because there's more than one way to be playful. That's kind of my
personality, so I can't change that.
So here's the thing. I think it's not that it's your personality. I think that's the only way that you feel comfortable in being playful. And I think if that doesn't land because you're like, this is how I know, you just keep going with it, but they just keep thinking, this girl doesn't even like me. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas like, so for example, if I'm talking to a guy and I'm coaching him, and because this happened before, I'm like, okay, well, you need to, if you see that you're on a date with a girl and it's not landing, you need to try and be playful in a different way that she can receive it. Otherwise, she's just going to think you're a dick. And I reckon that's probably what's happened.
Well,
I can't believe you've never had a boyfriend though. That's pretty surprising. Because I mean, you know, you're a young, pretty girl. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure nice guys. Oh, I guess you don't really like nice guys. That's probably why.
I don't like nice guys, no. That's a problem. That's my main issue. You literally like, because if I walk into a room, this has happened multiple times lately. I would walk into a room. There's a lot of guys, good looking guys, my type. I would manage to pick exactly the one that would be the weirdest one and the one that would mess me around after. Out of all the men there.
How do you pick?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't know. I just like.
What do you? Okay, what's your type? What do you typically
my
look
type
for physically? Yeah.
Brunette. I like a good like baby face,
Okay.
kind of like TikTok guys, that kind of like looks. Obviously taller than me because I'm tiny.
Yeah.
And I like when they have like a nice body, like, you know, not proper, like, you don't have to be proper, like, I don't know,
Ripped or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, but like just that you can tell that they go gym and, like, you know, they like work out.
Okay. So basically, you choose more or less the most attractive guy in the room.
But even if there's multiple attractive guys, I managed to like choose out of those, choose the one that's like,
Yeah, but you choose the most attractive, if not the most attractive that is available in the room.
probably, yeah.
Sure. That's how a lot of girls choose initially. And so those guys have plenty of options to go with. So it's kind of like, well, that's why you're getting fucked
But
around.
a lot of the times they would choose me. They would be the ones, because I never go up to guys.
Sure, but they could go up to you today and go up to someone else
Yeah,
tomorrow.
obviously. No, obviously I get that. But
Or
like,
they've already given some girl a number. And
if there's 100 people in the club, how is it possible, like, exactly that one person?
Because sometimes when guys go out, a lot of the time it's a numbers game. So they might talk to you. Because the thing is, many guys have the experience of trying to chirps one girl for the entire night, and she ended up having a boyfriend, or she left with some other guy. So what they do is they go, okay, cool, I'm playing a numbers game. So I'm going to talk to you for the next half hour, we have a drink, whatever, and then maybe we split off. Then I'm going to talk to someone else. Oh, wow. Then I might talk, and depending how big the club is the more he can get away with. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yes.
And then...
It does.
So, and it's just a strategy, but especially if he's an attractive guy and he's good looking, then the more kind of numbers he can get under his belt. And then from that, he will kind of choose who he wants to invest in based on whatever. Does that make sense?
Well, it does, yeah.
What do your girlfriends say about your lack of second dates?
My lack of second dates.
Yeah.
I mean, they always say I have terrible taste in men.
What would they say about your taste in men?
Oh, it's shit.
Yeah,
They literally tell me that every day.
If I was going to ask your best friend, like, describe the typical guy that Noemi goes for, what would they say?
So my best friend's actually a guy.
Okay, what would you say?
He would probably say, like, the biggest idiot in the room.
The biggest idiot in the room?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I don't really know. Like, he says I have terrible taste in men, obviously. He's like, you always manage to pick the wrong ones. You need to, like, choose someone who's nice. Like,
you don't really sound like you're looking for anything serious though. So it doesn't sound like, I think from what you're saying, how you're choosing, sounds like you're kind of looking for the fun, the excitement, and that's great.
But that doesn't mean it can't turn into something else after some point.
I'm not saying that it can't, but you're not choosing for those things. You're not choosing for something long term. You're choosing for something.
No, obviously, in that moment I am, yeah.
So, I guess it probably happen. I would expect it to happen if you are looking for something more serious. When you are, you'll probably start choosing for different reasons if you're smart. I would say. There was something I wanted to ask you actually.
Okay.
Are double standards ever okay?
Double standards, as in like...
So, like, for example, I don't want to go like a cliche one. Like, for example, maybe he can go out with his guys to like a strip club, but he doesn't want you going to a strip club with your girls.
Oh no, I would never date a person like that. No, I can't deal with that. Like, do you know what? Nah.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
Nah, if someone's like that, that's already like giving me the ick.
And let's say it's like a stag do. I guess that's actually an occasion, to be fair.
Because like, not even that, but like, why would you like be able to do stuff for like, why is it fine for you but not for me?
It's a good point. Do you think you don't hold any double standards for like guys when you date them? I mean, there'll be some things you will want him to do that maybe you probably won't do yourself, and vice versa. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Have you ever paid for a guy on the date?
Yes, I did.
You have?
Yeah.
You paid for him?
So basically, I went on a date, he paid for dinner, and then I paid for a cinema.
No, it doesn't count. I mean, you pay for the whole date.
Oh, the whole date? No.
Would you?
Depends, yeah.
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not the first date, but if I would be seeing someone for longer, let's say second, third date.
Why not the first date?
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't expect men to pay on the first date,
You
but
don't?
it's a really nice gesture
I
if they
agree.
do.
Sure.
Like, and that's also like the reason I paid for on that cinema date. I was like, do you know what? Like, you don't have to pay for the whole night. There's guys that would do that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
They'd be happy to do that. But I'm just like, I mean, why? We can both pay for something if we do two things. And I mean, so actually, I've been on one date once. That was quite funny. I've been on that date, got there, and the first thing the guy said to me is like, yeah, we're splitting the bills. Like, we're paying rounds. And I was like, okay. Fine.
What did that give an impression of him?
Yeah, I was a bit like, okay, why is that the first thing you're saying to me?
So is it
you know?
was it that it was the first thing he said, not like it was when he said it, not what he said?
Yeah, the way he said it, probably.
Okay.
Because you can put it in a nice way. As I said, I don't expect guys to pay on the first date, but like, it's nice if they offer it.
Yeah, no, I agree. You brought some things you wanted to ask.
Oh yeah,
question.
I have a very important question.
Go for it.
Because this has been annoying me. Why? No, why would a guy you were like having a thing with, nothing like not dating, but like
just having
situationship, fun. Let's say that.
Sure.
Why would he unfollow you and then still watch your stories?
Are you still in a situationship?
No.
Oh, so you've stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, if he unfollows you, it's because you guys aren't continuing.
But the thing is, it hasn't been continuing. This started like a year ago. It hasn't been continuing at all.
But he watches your stories.
He still followed me until like last week, and
Yeah.
now he's unfollowed me. But he still watched my new stories, and I'm like,
because maybe he's curious what you're
what's
up
the
to.
point?
Yeah.
Why did you unfollow me then?
Why do you think he unfollowed you?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he probably got a girlfriend.
Maybe.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty valid.
But it's really weird. Because, I don't really know. It's been a really complicated story with that guy, not gonna lie.
Okay.
He's ditched me 3 times.
He's ditched you 3 times? Yeah. Okay, I want to give us a shortened version of this long, convoluted story.
Basically, I met him on a night out, and then he really wanted to go out with me. We've been texting for a bit, then set up the date, ditched me for the first date because I don't even know the reason. Okay. I thought he wasn't doing well, something like that. Then we tried setting up a second one, which was a bit tricky because I was always away. Then he had work going on, and it was just like, didn't really happen. And then we set up, that was like a few months later, we set up a third date. He actually booked a place, but then literally got a work trip up that day and cancelled on me 2 hours before the date.
Right.
This kept kind of going. Like after that, I ignored him for a bit. Then we kept liking each other's stories again. He messaged me for my birthday, all that kind of stuff. And then he was liking my stories. And you know when you put those stickers in as well, like putting stuff in there, until like, I think October-ish.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I could have reached out to him. But the reason I didn't is because I already felt like I was making a fool out of myself. I've messaged him all these 3 times, even though he's ditched me 3 times.
As in you messaged him first?
I messaged him about meeting up, yeah.
Okay. When you say he ditched you, it wasn't like he didn't show up. It was just something came up and you couldn't see him.
He literally told me 2 hours before the date.
That you got a work trip?
Yeah.
Is that his fault though? If that's true.
No, I don't get me wrong. I even said to him, I'm like, I totally get that. Okay. I would do the same thing.
Sure.
But it's like 2 hours before, and the third time, it's like, okay.
I guess if it's not true, then that's bad. But if
I don't know if it's true. Yeah, I think it was. But anyways, regardless, I was like, I don't want to be the idiot again messaging you for a 4th time.
Yeah, sure.
So if you really want to, stop liking my stories and just message me.
Why? Yeah, go on.
He kind of like never did. And then he stopped liking my stories at like, I think November. But was still watching everything. And now last week he unfollowed me.
How do you know he unfollowed you?
Because I checked.
Why?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Were you checking his profile regularly?
Because how would you know unless you were checking? Oh, it's coming out now. Come on, Noemi, spill the beans.
Well, I never have that with any guy. Like, never had that. With him, I don't know. I have this weird obsession with him. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I can see that.
Yeah, he ditched me 3 times and I'm still running after him, obviously.
Why do you think you are?
I don't know. I don't get it. I've been trying to find an explanation. I can't find one.
Can I ask you a question? Remember how you said the reason most times it hasn't worked out with guys is because you don't really like them?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time a guy maybe feels like he's rejected you. Maybe. Who expressed interest.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a factor in the beginning as well.
Because I was like, that's happened to me before.
I thought it made him so much more attractive as well because he was like always like, I don't know, it was a bit mysterious as well that he would like, you know, ditch me and like kind of like rejecting me, but at the same time like, I like that. You know, I was kind of like chasing it and trying to like.
Do you know what the irony is? I think what would happen, you don't actually. I think if he came back and started liking you, I think your infatuation would stop. And I think a big reason why you're infatuated is because you're not used to a guy saying no to you when they've taken interest in you. It's very different if maybe you like a guy and he's like, oh, this just isn't my kind of girl. That's different. But a guy who showed interest, who talked to you and stuff, so he's gotten to know you more and then he doesn't like you. You're like, whoa, I'm not used to that.
That's
Usually
true.
Guys want me the more they spend time with me and talk to me. But then you have this one guy who for some reason isn't giving me that level of validation that I'm so used to. And that's why you're obsessed with him.
You know what? I'm not sure of that though, because I have a lot of guys. I have this thing. Every guy I like, they would like ghost me at some point and lose interest in me.
Have you had sex?
Yeah.
Have you had sex with this guy?
Yeah.
Wait, how did you meet him?
In a club.
Wait, how did you meet to hook up with him?
I met him in a club and then took him back to mine.
Oh, so it was the first night you met, and then after that, he just didn't see, like, there was this.
We were messaging for like 2 weeks and then we set up the date and like whatever.
And that's when it happened. As in, like, you guys, he kept on bailing on you, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, now he's unfollowed me, but he still watched some of my stories. So I'm like,
and you're checking on his profile every day.
I don't know. I'm not checking it now anymore, but like I was, yeah. I was checking if you viewed my stories.
The reason I say that is because this sounds very pretentious. I've been in your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
As in, not that I've gotten every guy I've ever taken an interest in, but there's no way to put this, but I'm just going to say how it is. From my experience, if I start dating a girl, it hasn't happened often where she has wanted to discontinue things.
Mm-hmm.
And when it did happen, I became obsessed with that girl. And I thought it was because I really liked who she was. Mm-hmm. But what I was actually chasing was the validation I was so used to getting from other women. Because the second I got that validation, I wasn't infatuated with her anymore. And I was like, whoa. I was like, wait. I was like, I thought I really liked you. And she was a great girl. And it wasn't that I stopped liking her. But the level of like me seeing what she's up to, and I was in my early 20s. So this, you know what I mean? So I was definitely less experienced in that sense, but it was very much, I've been where you are. Because the thing is, you actually don't, the level of investment and energy you're applying to this man, at least in your mind, you actually don't know him.
It's so bad. I actually don't know him.
What I mean?
I know that.
Like,
I don't know this.
But it's not
person.
criticism, but it's more about helping you see. You're like, why am I giving so much time and thought to a stranger?
I was literally saying the other day as well, maybe it's good he unfollowed me so now I can stop this obsession over him and like just be done with it.
What do you think you would need to stop the infatuation with this man?
I think that he unfollowed me. I think that had to happen.
Why didn't you just kind of block him yourself?
I couldn't. My plan was to slide back into his DMs.
Is he like very, very attractive to you?
Yeah.
Physically?
He was 100% my type. I literally,
think-
when I met him in
that
the
ma-
club, do
that
you know
should-
what?
that
I
should make sense.
saw him in the club and I thought he had a girlfriend. So I was like, I'm not going to go up to him. And then he came up to me on the dance floor. And I was like, you're joking. Like, he's way too good looking for me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to say this, but I think to rip the Band-Aid off. Would you probably say he's like the most attractive guy you've ever been physical with?
Yeah.
There's no nice way to say this, Noemi, and I don't want to say this. I think now that I know that,
Oh my goodness.
I think part of the obsession is for that reason. Because I think you probably feel you don't come across this kind of guy that often.
Oh, yeah.
And you even said that when you saw him, you kind of felt he's too good looking for me. And then you're like, what, you chose me? What?
I was actually surprised.
And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can, do you know what I mean? And that's, credit to you. But he may have just been looking for fun. It may have been.
But why would you then like try set up a date? That makes no sense to me.
That doesn't mean he's not looking for fun.
Yeah, but you can just like say it straightforward.
Yeah, but guys aren't going to do that because 9 times out of 10, even if a girl's just looking for fun herself, that doesn't work. A lot of the time.
Well.
But yeah, I think because in your mind, this guy in your mind is out of your league. In your mind.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're like, if I can salvage this anyway, I'm going to do it. That's what that is.
Perhaps, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Perhaps.
And I completely understand that. We've all been there. But would you really want to be in a relationship with someone where you're there, not even first or second, maybe third or fourth choice? That's not saying that's not saying he's above you.
No, but that was literally the reason
choice.
why I could have reached out to him. There were like, he literally like replied to my stickers. I was like, I could have messaged him then. And I literally just thought about that the other week. I was like, why didn't I? And I think part of me knew that I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's like not good because like he's obviously just going to mess me around again. And it's like, just no.
But also, you also have to take into account how you have, and I say this with love. I say this with love because I have 2 younger sisters. What you have shown him tells him that he doesn't need to choose you for you to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's bailed on you not once,
and I kept
not twice, not 3 times. And not only were you still available to him, but then you would message him.
Mm.
What that says to him, he's like, oh, there's this girl. I don't even have to choose her. She'll be there.
Yeah.
And him, do you know why he was like randomly just send you these emojis on your story and stuff?
Why?
Because he just wants to keep you warm. He wants you to still maintain a level of availability for him. So if or when
makes sense though.
If or when he wants something to happen with you, or if he's got a couple of weeks free and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I could see that girl. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You'll be completely available to him.
Yeah, I'd always say yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he would have messaged me, I would have been like, yeah, sure.
You would have taken it. Now, here's the
Probably
thing.
not that way, but I would have. Yeah.
Sure. Now, here's the thing. What you do is up to you. But as long as you know that this is the dynamic it's happening in, and then it's your choice whether you want to accept that or not.
Mm.
Because the irony is, I bet you definitely did that with guys.
What? Keep them warm?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes. This sounds really bad. But
No, we're here to be honest, man. This is what people do. The irony is that a lot of the time, what women complain about with men and what men complain about with women, they're complaining about the exact same thing. You're just in a different position. In one position, you're the one who is sought after. He's the one sorting after you. And he's like, why does she responds to me, she texts, but she doesn't want to see me. Sometimes she'll like send a little emoji to my story if I haven't messaged her for a while, because she's keeping you warm, bro, for that attention and time. The girl's like, okay, so we hooked up, but now like I can't see him and stuff, but he'll send me this little emoji and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll message me, I'll respond, but then I don't hear from him for like 5 days.
Very delusional.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like, well, because he's just keeping you warm, babe. Do you know what I mean?
It does make sense, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make you see him differently, or do you still, if he messaged you now, you'd be like, I'm there? I'm going to get her to a point where she's going to say no, guys. I'm going to get her to a point. We'll get her there. Is there something else you want to ask or talk about?
Let's see.
Yeah, go for it.
I've got a couple of questions. I've had some really weird like stories. in the
Okay.
past, so
We can go through that.
yeah, we had that one. Yeah, this is a weird one.
Okay.
Why would someone, if you go on a date with someone,
Yeah.
then like the date was nice. It was actually one of the good dates I had.
Nice.
And he would be like, talk about second dates, be like, yeah, come watch me play football, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, message me he didn't feel a connection, and he doesn't want to see me again.
Did he say, he said for you to come play football and stuff like that? Did
Yeah.
he say that to you in person?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And then the following day, he's like,
Like on the date, he kept talking about second date ideas and stuff like that. And then the next day he's messaged me and he's like, no, I didn't feel a connection. I had a good time, but nothing else.
He didn't want to say no to your face. That's why.
But why would you keep talking about second dates then? That's so stupid.
I know. It's because I'm not saying this is right, but it's what guys do. A lot of the time, it is very easy for men to be vilified in any dating dynamics with women. Very easy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if he said to you, for example, at the end of the date, he was like, yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not feeling this. So I think this is it. But I wish you all the best.
He didn't say that to my face though.
No, he didn't
Like,
say it to
he
your face.
messaged it to me.
But what I'm saying is, if he said that to you, to your face on the first date, you're going to tell your friends, this is what he said. They'll be like, what a dickhead. What an absolute knob.
Don't be like that anyways.
Do you know what I mean?
But
And he's doing the same thing, but one he's saying to you up front and one he's saying in
But
the
then-
message.
you can just talk about other things with me. You don't have to like pretend there's going to be a second date.
I know,
That
and
makes no sense.
and it's not right. But what I'm trying to say is, guys would rather you feel good in their presence than you feel bad in their presence, because whether they're justified in what they said to you or not, if you feel bad, that's immediately going to make him look bad, even if what he says is right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So this is a really big reason why guys will ghost on a one-night stand, and a girl has an amazing time, and it seems like he's very warm, affectionate, and says, yeah, I'm going to call you, and then he just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, let's say he was just looking for a one-night stand. Any
Yeah,
guy just saying, yeah, I'll be honest, I was just looking to hook up once and that was it, but peace, I'm out. He just looks like a
That's literally
dick.
the reason why I don't like, every time when I'm like with a guy, a new guy, I'm just like, I always have that in mind. I'm like, this is never going to go anywhere anyways.
Why do you have that in mind?
Because of all those experiences.
Has that happened to you a lot, where like you've spent one night with a guy and then you didn't hear from him?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Or like we texted for a bit, then he would just ghost me randomly. That happens to me like, yeah, on a 2-month basis.
Do you when you like meet a guy and you go back with him that night,
Yeah.
or he comes to yours, are you looking at him with the potential of something serious, or is it for you like, oh, I'm just fun in the moment?
Not really. Most of the time, no.
Okay, so if you're both looking at it in the same way, let's assume that's how he's looking at it. Why are you surprised if it just kind of peters off, if you're both just kind of looking for a fun in the moment?
It's more like, because like, I don't know, like we still kind of have contact after, or like we still text maybe for a bit or whatever. And then they would just like stop texting me randomly.
So what would you prefer? Let's say you spend a night with a guy, right? And you both know, like, for him, like he was just kind of looking for fun in the moment. He had a great time, but it's not going to be more than that. How would you prefer him to respond with you?
To be honest, like I feel like the best thing for me is like not even exchange contact details. Just be like, this was a one-time thing, whatever, I'll see you around. Just
You'd
leave.
rather a guy just say that to you up front?
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you know what? Yeah.
It's funny because women will say this. I just don't believe that that never goes down well.
No, it's easier if I don't get a guy's Instagram, I hook up with on a night. It's fine. Do you know? I'll forget about that guy in a second. But
sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you just tell us? What did you say? You just said that a guy said something to you and you were like, it's the way he said it. It's not what... Oh, the whole thing of going for rounds.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, it's the way he said it. It was not what he said. But like, isn't this about the way he said it? If a guy said it to you that way, you wouldn't receive that well, would you? Just like, hey,
I mean, you don't even have
to
to say anything. You just don't exchange your contact details and that's it.
Oh.
Really?
Okay.
For me. I'm just like, I'm never going to see you again. Bye.
No, that would not go down well at all. I think
even
maybe you could handle that, but I don't think most girls could. I don't think most girls would take, even if it's the truth. Because I think how it's done.
Obviously, like if I'm taking him back to mine or going back to his, that's the intention behind it, nothing more. So unless I really like him, I'm never going to see that person again. So I'm just going to leave. It's easier if I just leave in the morning, not have his contact, don't even have like a way to contact him. So yeah.
But maybe he wants to do it again. Maybe that's why he takes it.
Well.
That's so funny. Let me ask you something. What's one thing men should know about women to help them get what they want? Yeah. What should guys know about girls that maybe you think most don't?
About girls? Oh. Probably. I don't know if guys do that as well. But like, I know me and a lot of my friends do this. Just like, if I meet someone and I end up liking them, just imagine fake scenarios with them. And that's what gets you more attached to them as well.
Yeah, I think girls do that a lot.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I think girls, it's not that guys don't do that, but I think it takes more for guys to get to that point. He has to be like, oh, I really like who she is. But I think if a guy ticks a lot of boxes for a girl, you tell me, I think a girl starts imagining.
Oh yeah, I would meet someone and then
things.
Just imagine whatever, like, or second date, whatever.
Question: Why do you do that? Like, if you don't really know a guy, why do you already start picturing these things?
It's
really
stupid because like you don't even know the person, obviously, so you're just like making things up. But
sure,
I don't really know.
Even
maybe it's like wishing that it would happen that way.
And that makes sense.
Probably.
I get that. That. Even if you're kind of in a place where you're not looking for anything serious, where you still kind of imagine that about the guy you're seeing casually. Yeah. Really? Wow.
Not with any guy.
Not any guy, but I mean, like,
if I end up like meeting someone on a night out, take him back to mine, and then like end up he's a cool, nice guy, good looking. Yeah.
Even though you only want something casual with him.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. I feel like that's like classic. It's like classic logic. So you don't want anything serious with him, but you will imagine yourself in a serious scenario with him.
Yeah, maybe.
Listen, sometimes I think I figured women out, but there are some things that would just not make sense to me. I don't know what to tell you. Interesting. Okay. Let me see. Is there something what's something that guys should know?
A guy should know.
No, what's something that girls should know about guys? I think you already know this. The second a guy sees you for the first time, he imagines having sex with you.
Really?
And if that looks good in his head, he'll go, yeah, I'm attracted to her. If that doesn't look good in his head, he'll be like, I'm not attracted to her. Okay, when a guy says, just take this. When a guy says, I think she's attractive, I've already imagined having sex with her and I like how that looks.
Oh, okay.
That's what that means.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My producer's shaking his head, but it's definitely the case. Lies. Absolute lies.
Lies.
What's something else you want to go through?
Let's see. What else do we have? This is such a random one.
Go on.
I don't even know if you have an explanation for that.
Okay. I will try my best.
Why why? What guy I was seeing?
Mm-hmm.
There was this guy I was seeing,
Yeah.
and that was like back when 2021 when the Euros were on.
Oh yeah.
Why would he stop speaking to me because of a football match? Because that's literally what he did.
You just answered your own question.
That makes no sense. Why is the match more important than me?
It's not the match is. Why does sometimes someone say this? Like, the match is more important than me. It's not that the match is more important than you. It's that the match is more important than communicating with you in that moment.
No, he literally stopped like all contact because of that.
What, just for the duration of the game?
No. From like onwards.
Well, he stopped texting. He just ghosted you
because of the match.
No, he's lying to you. That's not why.
That's literally what happened. Because it was Italy against England, and he's
Italian.
UK guy. I'm Italian.
Oh, you're Italian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Euros?
Yeah.
That's petty, bro.
That's bad, right?
Maybe he was just hurt from what happened. He was hurt from what happened.
From a
and he
football
was like,
match. You're joking.
Yeah, no, but guys are not in guys. Like, when it comes to the
so
nation's football, people are very passionate, man.
I am passionate about it.
Well, there you go.
That is no reason for me to ghost someone I was seeing.
No, I agree.
I don't know.
I think that was silly and that was petty because that's petty. Yeah, maybe because every time he thought of you, it's like that just reminds
the Euros heartbreak.
Reminds him of the heartbreak. Have you ever seen a guy that reminded you of someone you've been with who maybe did you dirty and that just put you off them?
I don't think so.
No?
I have that with names though.
With names?
Oh, yes.
Really? What's the worst name?
Any name with J.
Joe, Joseph,
anything
Jack.
with J. J's have done me so wrong in my life.
J's
but
have
I'm
done
weirdly
you wrong?
attracted to J's. Every time, I don't know, like most of the guys I speak to, I'll call it something with J. This is not even funny anymore. Like, I would choose someone as well. Like, in a club, I would choose someone and then they'd be like, yeah, I'm called like Jack or whatever. And I'm just like, you're joking.
You're like,
I need to walk away from you.
You're like, I'm screwed. That's so funny.
No, literally.
Maybe there's something about that curvature of the J just gets you.
No,
just
because
sound
those were
J.
the worst experiences I've had. So, like,
For someone who's
That's
not
caused
had
me
a
trauma.
relationship, you've had a lot of bad experiences.
yeah, I know. That's what my friends say as well.
Oh, no, what's going on? Would you ever be celibate till marriage?
As in,
So you wouldn't have sex till marriage?
till marriage?
Yeah.
No.
You couldn't do that?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it is an important part of like seeing someone and like dating for me.
Sure. I don't listen, I'm a guy. I'm not gonna disagree with that. If I told you that if you're celibate till marriage, you will get your dream man. So you can have your dream man, but you have to be celibate till marriage.
But then it's not my dream man if I can't do the things I want to do with him. If I can't have sex with him until we get married, then there's something missing.
But the dream man is more about who the guy is, not what you can do with the guy.
Yeah, obviously. But like if I have a relationship with someone and I can't have sex with them.
So I'll just take it as
That's not
no.
gonna work,
The dream
no.
man isn't worth the celibacy
No.
for you. Okay. Would you be in an open relationship?
Oh no.
No?
I think I don't know if I'd be jealous, but I'd definitely not be too happy about it.
Okay. Even if it was open on your end?
Yeah, because I think if I really like someone,
Mm.
then I can commit to that person.
Okay.
And I wouldn't want to like see anyone else anymore.
Not even physically.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear that. What do you think is a compromise women make to get into a relationship?
I feel like I don't really know. I feel like a lot of girls at some point put the personality over looks. And then
I think that's right. I think everyone should do that.
Yeah, obviously, but at the same time, I don't want it just because his personality is great. The looks still need to be okay as well.
I'm not saying there shouldn't be a standard for the looks, but I don't think you should choose for looks. And I say guys should do this.
No. But the thing is, for me, it's like looks is what gets you in. Personality is what keeps you in. If I meet someone on a night out, let's say this guy, the one that ditched me 3 times, meet him. He's really good looking. Okay, nice. But if he's weird, then after, like if his personality is shitty or he's like weird or whatever, no, that's putting me off. That's like.
What about a guy who he's not unattractive, but he's just not the most attractive guy in the room? Would you give him a chance?
Yeah, probably.
Because his personality could be fire.
It depends. If he's kind of my type, yeah.
Kind of your type. What if he's a pretty boy, which is attractive?
I've gone for guys that weren't 100% my type. They weren't like 100% that like ideal thing.
Yeah. Have you ever grown attraction to a guy that you weren't initially attracted to physically?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Maybe like I was gonna say a male best friend, but actually you probably friend zoned him.
I didn't friend zone him.
No?
No, we've always just been best friends.
Okay. You friend zoned guys before though.
Oh yeah.
She's like every day.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I did.
I think I'm not saying you have to do that, but I think if you are open to getting to know a guy who isn't always the most attractive guy in the room, if you're looking for a relationship, because the thing is, we always acclimatize. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the level of butterfly feelings that you get from seeing someone really attractive. When you're in a relationship with them for a year, you can still be like, oh, they're obviously really attractive, but that novelty is worn off. So then you're left with the personality. For
me, it's really, I don't know. It really depends. Like if someone's not really my type.
I'm not saying that they're the complete opposite of your type.
I'm very picky. That's the thing. I'm like I have very high standards.
I think you have high standards.
I do.
In the wrong areas. I think where you prioritize your standards is part of the reason why you haven't found commitment with a guy yet, because the things that make a relationship good and healthy and build the foundation on that, you're not choosing based on those things. You're choosing on, oh, I'm here to live for the moment, and that's fine. But if you're looking for like a relationship, you have to start prioritizing different things. That's not saying, okay, I'm going to go for the most unattractive guy who I just see myself not being with ever. But when I said, what do you usually pick? You like pretty in the face, taller than me, good body. It's like, okay, so none of those. Yeah,
that's how I pick them. But obviously I'm not interested in them. If they let's say they're super pretty, super my type, and then they would just be like that type that only chills at home, does nothing the whole day. Literally, that's my worst nightmare. I'd be like, no.
Sure. But I don't think the average guy is at home doing nothing. The average guy is working or doing something. You'd be
surprised. I know a lot of them.
There's probably more. Yeah, there probably is. But I think like most people have to work by default to even survive anyway. So that's not going to be the average person. Do you know what I mean?
Like, but that's another thing. I've seen quite a few. So obviously my job is not normal.
What do you do?
Social media
and
music.
Oh,
so I'm like,
yeah, of course.
I have a very weird life.
Sure.
And I've seen quite a few guys recently, or like spoken to, that have like normal jobs, like 9-to-5 life. Firstly, they never understand my life. They always get a bit scared off.
What are they scared of?
I don't know, because I have a crazy life, I guess, which is true.
What's the crazy part of your life that they are concerned about?
Oh, like everything. Like I feel like I've had guys that didn't like that I share stuff on my social media so much, or like that I'm traveling a lot, that I'm like always doing these spontaneous things, like that I'm on the way 24/7, that I'm literally always at events and like everywhere.
What do you think? Why do you think they have concern about that?
Probably because they have a different lifestyle. Which I totally get. I know a lot of people are overwhelmed by my life, even my family. But yeah, that's also like one of the reasons I stopped. Like I went on a date with one guy and quite recent. And then like he does, what does he do? Like accounting or something? I don't remember. But anyways, like if I think about it, like the future, this is not going to work, because I see it with my flatmate. I barely see her. And if that guy would have his 9-to-5 job and then I'm leaving in the evening, I'm at an event in the evening, I'm never seeing that person. Yeah. I never have time to see that person.
I hear that. So I think maybe you're just not in a place for something serious. Do you know what I mean? Because you're kind of prioritizing this lifestyle, which is cool. Like, you know, you have your fun.
I think for me right now, that's another thing that makes it even trickier, because I feel like I need someone who understands that life and is also kind of like a bit in it.
The irony though is that I think a large majority of people who are in it are not looking to calm down with it either. They're very much like you. Do you know what I mean? So you're just dating guys who are like you, which is because they're probably not in relationships. Do you know what I mean? They're just dating girls and you're just dating guys. Do you know what I mean? So,
fun.
But yeah, I think, you know, when you're looking for something different, you naturally, I would think you start prioritizing something different. Do you have one last thing to ask or anything else?
Let's see. Maybe.
If not, I've got something.
I don't know. I just feel like.
Sorry if you don't. I've got something.
Yeah, you go. Go on.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Yeah, what do you have?
A younger sister.
A younger sister?
Yeah.
How old is she?
18.
She's 18.
Not that young anymore.
And you're 23. If she brought a boy home because she wanted your opinion on whether she can have a future with this guy, what are the 3 things you would look for in him?
I think that he makes her that he makes her laugh, and like, you know, like I can tell that they're having a good time together.
Okay.
That he's like taking care of her. That he's responsible in terms of like also like, I don't know, has a job, or like even like
what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in general, just like caring, and that like that I see that he cares about her. My sister has a boyfriend, and like I really like him. He's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's with him. So yeah, I think that's one thing like I like about them.
Yes.
Like you can really tell they care about each other. They would like, yeah. It's really sweet, actually.
What's interesting is that, and I agree with you in terms of those qualities for your sister. Like when I asked you about what you look for, not once did responsibility come up. You did. And I think that is a really, really important quality a woman should look for in a man, because that shows how he handles himself, how he handles his relationships, how he handles his business in life. And it's interesting because sometimes when I ask people, what would you look for your younger sibling? They say the qualities that they know would be good for their younger sibling. But when I ask what do they want, they never say the qualities that would be good for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's just something to think about. Do you know what I mean? Listen, thank you for sharing your energy with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was great. I had great fun. Everything's answered now.
Hey, listen, we love it, man. That's what we're here to do. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. It's Noemi Musics on TikTok and Noemi.brh on Instagram.
Perfect. We love that. Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. Guys, go show Noemi some love, all that good stuff. Give her a follow, give her a likes. And look out for a guy who keeps following or unfollowing her, because I don't know, maybe she's going to get back tangled in that web. We don't want her to, but she might. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And I will see you in the next episode.